Okay, welcome back to another video, everybody. This is Corpse Factory number 2. Okay, what do we got here? I've always liked the shape of my eyes. I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I've never complained about my eyes. With or without makeup, I think they look great. Mother used to tell me I inherited her eyes. My big sister inherited father's eyes. To be honest, I don't see any of my father's in myself or my sister, but I do agree that my eyes are exact replicas of my mother's. Mother doesn't see too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, my eyes are perfect, and I couldn't be happier with them. I wear eyeshadow and eyeliner bring out my best features. Some people tell me I use too much makeup, that I tend to overdo it and make myself look intimidating. Well, I don't really care. I mostly like the way I look. And honestly, how many people can claim the same? True. Accept yourself, girl. Today's morning ritual is the same as any other workday. I'm a slave to the wage, and I'm not proud of it. I feel that. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without money. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. The shower is running by 6:05, and I'm dry and dressed by 6:15. I skip breakfast because I'm watching my figure, and I spend until 6:30 working on my makeup. I'm out of my cramped shoebox apartment by 6:45. Sometimes I catch my neighbor returning home from his overnight shift, and if so, I exchange simple pleasantries with him and continue on my way. Today is no sign of the neighbor, so I don't slow down as I descend the stairs and exit the building. Hitting the convenience store for a can of coffee saps another few minutes from each day. I prefer sweet milk coffees, but every now and then I'm in the mood for a rich black coffee. Regardless, I never start the day without it. I don't always need the energy boost, but it helps me stop my stomach from growling. It's a milk coffee kind of day, so I pay for my favorite brand and get out of the store in no time. The canned coffee dives into my handbag as I continue on my way. The train station is always busy in the morning, and it's usually a struggle to navigate my way to the correct platform in time of the 7:12 a.m. train. Today is no different. However, I always make it in time because my routine has been perfected over the last few months. I board the train by the Shinjuku, and cursory glance reveals that there are no empty seats, so I push through the throng of the bodies and stand against the carriage wall. Where? Where are the people? You're a liar. Whenever there are seats available, I like to sit and read, but it's much more common to have a stand and stare at my phone screen like almost everyone else. When I do read, I read the classics: Stoker, Lovecraft, Poe, horror, Western horror. That is my favorite genre. Of course, faithful translations into Japanese are as good as it gets. My English isn't nearly strong enough to read those novels in their original language. If I'm stuck staring at my phone screen, I like to stalk people online, acquaintances, or a few friends I have. I lead such boring lives. They post about the most mundane topics all day, every day, acting like they're shriveled up and die unless they get the attention they seek. I find their dull, tedious life simply fascinating. From behind the safety of a glass veil, I can fulfill my voyeuristic fetishes and consume as much pointless information as I desire. Fun? That's not creepy at all. Knowing every mundane tidbit of people's daily lives turns... What? Hey, you need to calm down there, lady. This morning is the same as any other. I stare down at my phone held in a frail hand. My fingers move on to their own accord, scrolling and tapping against the backlit display, pausing, pondering, pouncing on any pounce or picture that my pupils haven't yet consumed. I think you're a part of the problem, not gonna lie. Standing in the train carriage, packed in the grills of the people, I can't help but feel my face getting flushed and my steamy breath escaping my lips. I digest I digest post after post, photo after photo, memorizing the comings and goings of every single person on my noise activity feed. Oh yeah, noise is their like Instagram or whatever. I catch my breath getting heavier and gaps becoming short and sharp. Ray went to the dentist yesterday for a root canal. Mizuno shared some photos from her international vacation. Oh, that's nice. Kawahara objects to owning pets and thinks all animals should be free. I guess that's cool. What a weirdo. My cheeks glow crimson. My chest begins rising and falling quickly. I clutch the collar of my shirt, knuckles whitening, knees shaking. A few people in the carriage start to move away from me, but I barely notice them. My fingers keep scrolling and I hit the jackpot. Are we still talking about the phone? A new post from a coworker at my office. Tomo Watanabe. She's a gal girl. The type of a heavy fake tan, bleached blonde hair, and questionable clothes. I hate her, but I love her post. This morning's update reads, Tomo, Mo, 53 minutes ago. Just found this corpse girl website. Such fake bull. Ha 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 ha. Waiting to meet a bitch to try it on. Ha 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 ha. Tomo just discovered corpse girl's website, huh? I feel a slight squeal trying to escape from my throat as the legs starting to buckle underneath me. I can't take the excitement anymore, and I have to force my phone from my hands and bury it in the bottom of my handbag. Thank God she said handbag. Okay. Deep breaths, Noriko. Deep breaths. I need to calm down and control myself. Composure is key. I close my eyes and let a cool breath of air whistle through my slightly parted lips. Feeling a little calmer and no longer ready to explode, I analyze the information I just read. Tomo wants to try out Corpse Girl's website. That's good. That's very, very good. Rumor has it that you can visit the website and request the death of somebody you know. How and if the victim dies isn't known to the public. Because of that, some people are pretty quick to dismiss the site as hoax. However, the most interesting part isn't how or if the victim dies, but rather what happens to the victim before they die. Supposedly, the victim will receive a photo of their own corpse. How this photo exists before the victim's life is snuffed out isn't public knowledge. But the thought of this phenomenon occurring is utterly intriguing. Nevertheless, the site has been gaining popularity lately, or at least certain corners of the internet. Message boards like Noise Channel and the other similar sites have picked up the rumors like to exaggerate the website's authenticity. The fact that someone like Tomo, or rather that's dim-witted individual has discovered a website means that it's actually more well-known than I previously thought. Jesus. It means that people are actually talking about it outside of the internet. Chances are good that Tomo will want to try it out and request the death of somebody in the office. A coworker, me perhaps. She hates my guts as much as I hate hers. Finally, something exciting is going to happen in our dull workplace.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
As the automated announcement reads through the list of connecting train lines, I get ready to disembark. The train pulls to a stop and I contort my body around the other passengers in an attempt to exit the train. Finally free of the tangled mass of flesh, I hasten my pace and navigate through the labyrinthine station. I take the exit closest to the office and settle into a slower walk. I'm on time. I never desired to reach the office any earlier than needed. Man, I feel that to my very core. I did that all the time. At my last job, at least. It doesn't take too long for the looming office to tower center my field of vision. 32 stories of office space all crammed into one sleek, slim tower. The name, Temujin, I think that's how that's pronounced, is stamped across the structure in the gigantic black letters. If you're looking for this building in Shinjuku, you can't possibly miss it. Temujin carries the title of Japan's third biggest banking corporation. It's a gigantic company which other branches in Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo Fukuoka. That word and a dozen smaller cities I don't even remember. I've worked here for close to 3 months now, not a long time in the grand scheme of things. That said, I'm only a temp, and all I do is data entry. I work on the 14th floor along with the 60 other junior employees, including gal girl Tomo Watanabe. I don't speak to many of my coworkers, that's the way I like it. When I reach the building, I enter the giant double sliding doors and find myself in a familiar lobby. Comfortable couches line the walls circling a reception desk. 4 large elevators are tucked away in a nook behind the reception desk. It's already busy this morning, though, to be fair. This place is packed all the time. I avoid the crowds of sharply dressed business people, feeling a little out of place in my semi-formal shirt and skirt. Ducking in a newly opened elevator, I tap my employee ID card to a backlit panel and press the button for my floor. The doors close and the elevator begins its smooth ascent. I'm surprised to find that I'm the only one traveling up. I reach my floor and listen to the soothing chime as the doors open, revealing the open layout office before me. The static drone of the workplace noise fills my ears. Conversation, ringing phones, fingers tapping against the keyboards, photocopiers, even the steady, low hum of the air conditioner contributes to the overall din. I make my way to the desk, stationed in the middle of the floor, surrounded by a dozen other identical desks. As I walk, somebody taps me on the shoulder gently.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Morning, Shinya. Shinya Fujikawa. My senior, though he's really only a couple of months older than me. He's worked here for a whole year after taking an internship straight out of the senior high school. He's not an intern anymore, though I'm not quite sure of his job title.
Morning, Fujikawa.
Morning.
How was your commute this morning?
Dull. It was very dull. Now get out of my face.
Fine. Same as usual.
That's what that means. Get out of her face.
That's good to hear. Did you read any of your novels?
Oh, you mean my 50 Shades of Grey? Yeah, I was reading it on the bus. Oh, he's talking about the horror books. Oh. He's referring to the horror books I like to read. I can tell from his tone that he doesn't exactly approve of the subject matter. I've known Senra since junior high. We go way back, but I wouldn't exactly call us friends. However, he is the one that landed me this job, even though it's just a temporary contract. I've always had the feeling that he's a bit sweet on me. I could be way off the mark, though.
Well, I couldn't get a seat on the train today. Too hard to read while standing.
Ah, that's a shame. You, still haven't accepted my,
Dude's down
friend
bad.
request, did you know?
Dude is down bad. And I am sorry for making fun of you. I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes. He's a nice guy, but we were connected on Noise once before, and I had to delete him. Ooh, I feel less nice. Is he a nice guy? Is he like a nice guy, quote unquote? He's super obsessed with his father's detective work, and all he ever posts about is assumptions on theories on petty crime cases. Wait, there's nothing wrong with that. Normally, I find anyone on my friends list fascinating, but here's the thing. Shinya never posts about his personal life. All he writes are long-winded rants and on boring cases. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually really cool. What are you talking about? Fuck you. God, this bitch is a bitch. It's far beyond the amount of dullness even I can stand. What? How is that boring? God, nah, I don't like you. I forgot. I don't like you. I fish my phone out of my handbag and pretend I'm looking at Noise.
Oh, how about that? Looks like I don't have any incoming friend requests.
I quickly dip my phone back into my bag.
How peculiar. Well, I'll try and nudge again later.
Shinya. Take the L, bro. Just take the L. Move on. Find someone better. Much better. Someone who's actually has an interesting point of view in life and all.
Sure, no problem.
Well, anyway, I better get to it. Work hard today, okay?
You got it.
Shinya offers a formal bow and goes on his way. Before I can take a step toward my desk, a mocking voice whispers in my ear. Whispers?
How long are you gonna lead on sweet little Shinya?
I mean, she has a point. I shiver and find Tomo Watanabe looking around behind me, buzzing around my neck like an irritating mosquito.
That poor boy really has the hots for ya. When are you gonna tell him you're a cold-hearted psycho?
Listen, I'm not leading him on, and I'm no psycho.
I know you're the main character, at least that's what I'm assuming from you being the poster girl and everything. But I disagree.
Sounds like something a real psycho type would say, don't
Okay,
you reckon?
just because she may or may not be a psycho doesn't mean she wouldn't refute not being a psycho. I mean, are you just dumb? Are you dumb? You big dumb stupid head? Like, of course a psycho would say they're not a psycho. Maybe a psycho would say they're a psycho because they're a psycho. We don't know. They're psychos. But someone who's not a psycho would say they're not a psycho. So you really don't know until they actually do something that's psycho-ish. I'm getting carried away. Of course, this is none other than Galgirl Tomo, the very same brain-dead moron who posted this morning about wanting to try Corpse Girl's website. She's the kind of person that likes to stir up trouble and instigate conflict. She's had her vacant eyes on me since the day I first stepped foot in the office. She loves to torment me any chance she gets. Maybe I rubbed her the wrong way somehow, though I'm not sure what I ever did to her. Even though she's a data entry temp like me, she's worked here just a little longer than I have. Unfortunately, that means I have to defer to her as my superior in this professional environment. She knows as much as and likes to take advantage of the fact as often as
It's funny,
possible.
you know. You don't look like the type of skank to lead on a goody-goody like Shinya.
Wow, you just coming out like that. I feel like I could take this to HR, right? This is definitely an HR problem.
I told you, I'm not leading him on.
Well, if you're not interested, maybe I'll take him out this weekend and tongue him at the cinema.
I mean, you can do what you want. I don't really care.
Gross. Do what you want, but I doubt he's into someone with your, looks.
Anyone else feel that burn?
Oh yeah? What would you know? You think he likes your flat chest, little Miss Gothic Lolita?
Wow! There is nothing wrong with flat chests. I know I should shrug off comments such as this, and normally I would, but backing down from Tomo is something isn't something I can do easily.
I'll give you a tip. Guys like Shinya are smart. Clever. If you want to impress him, don't let him know your head is as full of air as your inflatable breasts.
Damn! You just about murdered her! A flash of charisma lights up Tomo's face and she looks ready to lash out at me, but she's also in a professional setting, so HR would probably be like a big issue. A group of coworkers, juniors like us, look over to us in concern. Tomo takes a step back from me, but not before signaling a rude gesture with her fingers.
We ain't done here, Noriko. Watch your back.
She's gonna try the corpse girl thing.
I'm trembling.
Tomo walks away and I breathe a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for having to deal with her, I would have dreaded coming to work every day. Anyway, I wonder when she's planning to test out Corpse Girl's website. Would she try it on me since we just fought? I'm not really sure if I should be excited or scared. Either way, it would definitely be fun to find out what happens if she tries the website. I finally reach my desk and take note of the time. I was supposed to start working 5 minutes ago, so I quickly logged into my computer and checked today's task list. It's all standard stuff today. I need to transfer a few tables of numbers from a spreadsheet into our company's online database. When I'm done, I have to run it by a few people and then commit the changes to the server. Work is dull and repetitive, but my salary isn't bad. On the plus side, I get to wear headphones and listen to music while I work. Oh, that's so cool. I don't want to listen to music at work. I dip into my handbag and retrieve my headphones. My phone, a can of milk coffee, and a handful of breath mints. I lay them all out on my desk neatly. I slip my hand on my headphones, I plug them into my phone, and hit play on my work playlist. Loud symphonic metal loving thrashes my ears as I crack open a can of coffee and take a sip.
Okay, let's get started.
Are you listening to, like, Dragula? Dragula's pretty cool. I'm just saying. I return home to my quiet, cramped apartment after work. The place is eerily silent, a stark contrast to the buzzing office where I spend my days. Throwing my handbag into the tiny coffee cup, I pick up my laptop and sit on the couch. I lay back and get comfortable, letting the laptop rest on my stomach as it boots up. The welcome screen loads up, so I click a couple of times, open my web browser, and then head to a very specific website saved in my favorites. Corpse Girl's website, revenge at your fingertips. Request a death. Fill out your victim's information, upload a photo of them. Your victim will receive a photo of their own corpse shortly before they die. Watch out, don't be an idiot and enter probably yourself. A cute dancing zombie girl is animated at the top of the page, and peculiar and irregular that always makes me giggle. I notice that the page view counter at the bottom of the site is nearly the same as it was yesterday. There have been maybe 4 or 5 new visitors. I heave a sigh, but maybe the website isn't quite well known after all. That begs the question, how did Tomo discover it? Well, never mind that. My eyes scanned the website's content. Request a death. Big, bold letters headline the site. The intention couldn't be more clear. Further information on the site is sparse. Sparse? 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 Sparse, 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 sparse. Is it sparse or sparse? Whatever. Sparse. We're going with sparse. Brief instructions tell the user to fill in a victim's phone number and upload a photo. Aside from that, there's not much else to mention. It doesn't even ask for a name. After scanning the site, I move my mouse to the browser's address and bar and click. I type a / after the website's address and then add the word admin. I hit the enter key. The login page presents itself with empty username and password fields waiting to be filled in. My fingertips tap dance around the keyboard, and within the moments I presented with a brand new page. A blinking slab of text greets me. One new request. A crooked smile cracks my stony expression. Finally! Somebody has requested a death. Somebody has asked me, Corpse Girl, to kill a victim. Ah, so you're the Corpse Girl. I giggle and feel my cheeks flush red. This is the first request I've had in about a week. I've been logging in every evening, fingers crossed that somebody has elected a new victim for me. Today, my wish has come true. I can't help but feel emotional at a time like this. My lower lip trembles and I feel tears welling up. I dab the corners of my eyes gently to avoid smudging my makeup. As I hover my mouse cursor over the view request button, a familiar, pleasant tingling sensation surges in my chest, my stomach, my thighs. I shiver with anticipation, my hot and steamy breath beginning to fog up the laptop screen. Damn, girl! Get a breath mint if you're steaming up everything. Request details. Today, 2:47, local time. Victim's phone number, ************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈̈ Image attachment. The victim's photo automatically loads on my screen. The person in front of me is a total stranger, but that's okay. It doesn't change the task set out for me. A woman, rather plain in her early 30s, she's well dressed with minimal makeup. She's not really putting her personality on display. It's a nice photo, better quality than some of the images I've received in the past. In fact, the photo looks like a corporate ID picture. I wonder if it was downloaded from a computer database or website. Well, the source of the photo doesn't matter. The simple fact of the matter is that somebody has made a request for this person to die. It falls to me to fulfill that request. And as Corpse Girl, I take requests very, very seriously. I have the victim's photo. I have her phone number, and all I need now is to select a way for her to meet her untimely demise. I previously thought about including an extra field on my website, an option for the user to choose the way they want their victim to die. After all, it would reduce the amount of strain on my creativity if the method was decided for me. But after careful consideration, I decided against it. Some people are sick, twisted. The cause of death could be far beyond my means and impossible to achieve. Therefore, allowing the user to define the cause of death just isn't feasible. Instead, I'll stick to my current modus word. So, if she's Corpse Girl, how is she killing people? Like, is it like a magic spirit thing, or is she just like actually like just a serial killer that just like serial kills with like weapons and stuff? And then like probably like photoshops the pictures beforehand. That's my guess. I don't think there's any supernatural thing happening. I think she just kills people, right? And then uses Photoshop to Photoshop them dead already when she sends pictures. Everything depends on the quality of the victim's photo. If it's detailed and the victim's features are easily distinguishable, then I can rather be creative with the cause of death. Perhaps the victim's face suffers grotesque burns, or she has an iron stake thrust through her skull. However, if the victim's photo is low quality, it doesn't provide enough detail to identify the subject. I have to resort to default cause of death. A terrible, unlucky fall from a great height. That's what happened to the last girl. Maybe she slips, or maybe someone stumbles into her and sends her tumbling over a rail. The end result will be the same, a swift, crushing death from a high. The victim will end up face down on the concrete, completely unrecognizable, save for her clothes and accessories. It's not my favorite cause of death, but in some cases it is necessary. Regardless, it is still a valid way to fulfill my request. For now, it's time to get started. I can barely contain my excitement. I squirm against the couch, uncrossing my legs in vain to attempt to dissipate the heat rising. Chill, lady. Chill. Taking a deep breath, I try to calm my nerves and get to work. The victim will receive a photo of her own corpse, time-stamped with the date of her death. The Corpse Girl's signature move, my calling card, if you will. Seeing an image of one of one's own disfigured corpse is sure to strike fear into one's heart. And that's precisely the reason I take this step, to make the victim panic and act rashly. First things first, I save the victim's photo to my laptop's hard drive. I start in a folder discreetly named System Files, hidden away in the root directory of my operating system. A password encrypted directory, of course. Next, I open my favorite image editing software and load the photo. Looking carefully at the detail in the picture, I can see that this will be a work of art. I can really go to town with this request. I minimize the software into open my web browser and access a particular website. Database of Deceased, the DD. It's as if it's known on my dark web. Secret weapon, the ultimate resource for my work. Okay. Well, she is using a software for the photo, so I was right on that front. The DD is a collection of countless high-resolution photographs of dead bodies. Murder victims, crime scenes, suicides. If somebody has died in one way or another, chances are good that some perverted individual has captured a moment in all its gory glory. Such valuable images are essential to my work, using these photos as a base. I can edit my victim's details into the picture. My process is simple. I start by locating the perfect corpse photo. I search the database, and in 2 minutes, I discovered a disgustingly detailed photo of a woman with her entrails spilling from her stomach. Her face is blue, having suffocated before even having a chance to bleed to death. That sucks. Why are you happy about this? Why are you doing this in the first place? Hold on. She's about the same age as my victim. She's a similar height and build. Finding a photo that specifically suits my victim's features is easy thanks to DD's excellent catalog of tags and filters. I simply search for the keywords that match my victim's description and find a corpse that fits. Using this photo as a starting point, I digitally edit my victim's face onto the board or body. It's not some quick job that even a child can do. It's a painstakingly crafted work of art that would fool even the keenest eye. An hour passes, then 2, then 3. Before I know it, midnight has come and gone, but the work is nearing completion. All that remains is to add the final touches. I like to add specific distinguishable details to the image. A personal item or accessory, clothing, makeup, you name it. I can edit it. With personal details added, I adjust the lighting and color palette, just slightly enough to make the photo truly unique. If the victim decides to reverse image search the photo and discovers that it's forgery, all my work would be for naught. And with that, the masterpiece is complete. A grisly, gruesome, gratuitously gory gift for the soon-to-be departed. The victim will receive this photo of a corpse that is, for all intents and purposes, a perfect replica of her own physical form. She will open the image on her phone. The life she once knew will crumble to pieces. My lips curl into a satisfied smirk during my hours of work. My breathing eventually steadied. My excited nerves settled into a zen-like calm. But seeing the finished art piece now, I begin to feel my heart pounding once more. The vision before me is exhilarating. The adrenaline dopamine surged throughout my body, giving me a sudden head rush of bliss. To say that I'm attracted to the sight of blood and guts would be misleading. No, I'm not into that at all. That's a little hard to believe. I'm just... like the people watching this, you're with me on this, right? Like, you don't believe a single word she says, right? I'm not the only one. The excitement stems from the thought of taking control of somebody else's life, dictating their future, controlling their fate. For with the creation of this image, I have taken the victim's life into my own hands, like a puppet master pulling the strings of a marionette. So you just like being in control? Lame. By forging this convincing creation, I will compel the victim to take their own life. That's right, my own hands need not become stained. The hands of the corpse girl have never been dirty with the blood of a victim. I mean, if they take their life, though, you may not be directly responsible, but you are responsible. Everybody knows this. This is the true nature of my work. Carefully crafting corpse photos in such a way to convince the victim that their fate is already sealed. That no matter what they do, they cannot escape the death that awaits them. And the date stamped on the photo is icing on the cake, ultimate driving force behind the victims choosing to end their own life. What if they just stay in the room the whole time? Is it going to be like a final destination thing? A date so near in the future, a time that has not yet occurred. A fiber of uncertainty carefully interwoven in the image that it causes the victim to pause and consider the possibilities. That's fair, though. That's fair. Is this photo from the future? Is this truly my fate? How can I outrun a future that has been pre-decided by doing something else? These are the thoughts that run through a victim's mind. Despair and dread flood the senses. Overwhelming anxiety gives way to a calm acceptance. This is my dead body. This is how I die. Why should I fight it? And when the victim's last vestige of resistance gently breaks, like a silk spider web being torn by a cool breeze, they finally give in. They invite their end. This is the way it will go down for this woman, this complete and total stranger. I'm confident, certain, convinced. It was a sudden spark of inspiration that guided me to begin fabricating corpse photos about a year ago. I can never quite recall exactly what it was that spawned the idea. Sometimes I get close to remembering, but the recollection dances at the edge of my mind, slips back into the darkness. Regardless, I ventured down a dark, dangerous path. I built Corpse Girl's website and invited strangers to request deaths of people they knew. I had no intentions or means of ending lives. Little did I know of the true power I wielded. I only intended to create corpse photos and send them to people for fun. Such fun! It's an epic prank, bro. Just don't worry about it. God. I'm just having a little fun. I was only using other people's bodies and photoshopping your face onto it so that you would be freaked out and end your own life. I mean, it's not my fault you took it too seriously, dude. I wanted to start out and scare some unsuspecting fools. It would be a lie to claim that I didn't get off on it. Here we go. The thought of people shrieking in the fear and sight of their own corpse was more than delicious. It sated my building lust, it filled a dark hole in the depths of my soul and gave me purpose. You are a psycho! Never in a million years did I dream that one of my corpse photos would result in the death of another human being. I will never forget her name, Ruri Hatano. 20-something slim, gorgeous eyes that took my breath away the moment I gazed upon her portrait. She was the first person to make me feel bad about crafting hoax photos. The only person to make me feel bad about it. Then why did you keep doing it? But I did it anyway. Corpse Girl never rejects a request. It's my conviction. I forged a beautiful rendition of her death. Thanks to some rather... I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Source photos obtained via the database of deceased. I strung Rory's corpse up in a field like a ghoulish scarecrow. The photo was incredible. It was my 5th or 6th work. The 5th or 6th time a user of Corpse Girl's website requested a death. Ruri Hatano died just hours after receiving the photo. I don't know why. I don't know if she killed herself or if someone murdered her. But I know one thing. Ruri Hatano's body, her real body, was found in a field, hanging like a scarecrow surrounded by crows. Her eyes had been gouged out by a skull, out of her skull, and stiff fingers clutched her phone tightly. According to the news report, her phone displayed a familiar image, the very image I created of her corpse. When I first learned of Ruri's death, I was overcome with varying emotions. I felt sick, elated, disgusted, overjoyed, depressed, and aroused. Why did I have to read that? Why am I subjecting myself to this? Ugh. But I want to know what happens. I want to know if it's... I want to know! So if she's not physically going out to kill people, what if there's something else going out to kill people? Or maybe she has a split personality. Had I somehow caused her death? Was Corpse Girl responsible for taking her life? Even though my hands weren't stained with blood, I still felt responsible. A lurid truth descended upon me at that moment. Corpse Girl had the power to end lives, and the more I dwelled on that fact, the more obvious it became to me. I began to feel the power pulsing through my veins, thrumming in my blood as my heart pumped and pounded within my chest. I can't explain how the power works, and I don't know why I have it. But somehow, the corpse photos I created can compel a victim to end their own life, or compel someone else to end it for them. Ruri died in a way that I envisioned. Her dead body matched a fake corpse photo I painstakingly crafted. And I didn't even have to leave the safety and comfort of my apartment to ensure her death. Corpse Girl's power is real, extraordinary, and I vow to exercise the power as frequently as possible. Neat. That's cool, but, like, have you thought of not doing that? Ruri died last year. Since then, I've been chasing that rush, that thrill that comes with snuffing out a soul. It wasn't hard to grow the popularity of Corpse Girl's website after that incident. Particularly, dark corners of the internet gobbled up the news with enthusiasm, and the site saw an influx of new visitors. And on a few occasions, I even overheard people in the real world whispering about the mysterious website that lets you request a death. I've crafted corpse photos for dozens of requests. Each photo is more convincing and realistic than the last, thanks to my ever-evolving skills. But none of my recent attempts have been successful. Not a single person has dropped dead since Ruri Hatano, and I'm beginning to wonder if Corpse Girl's power has fizzled out. Or maybe it was never real. Or perhaps I never had any power to begin with. Maybe Ruri's death was simply a fluke, a morbid coincidence. I spent countless hours doubting myself, doubting Corpse Girl. I tried so hard to replicate that one success. Every time I received a quest, I did the same things I did in Ruri Hatano's case. I edit the photo of the victim, I create a convincing photo, I time-stamped it with the time of death, I send the photo to the victim, and then I leave the rest up to fate. But nothing ever comes of it. I'm not so delusional to think that a normal circumstance, a simple photo would be enough to convince someone to kill themselves. And even if that photo fell into someone else's hand, it wouldn't inspire them to go out and kill the victim. Of course not. However, these are no ordinary circumstances. I once activated a power beyond the ken of mortal men. You really are a psycho. Psycho bitch. Psycho bitch is now your name. I caused Ruri Hatano to die by her own hand, or by the hand of another. I need to find a way to manifest my power once more, to prove that I, Corpse Girl, have the power of death and destruction at my fingertips. Once a new victim perishes, I know it will pave the way to more and more deaths. My website will gain popularity and become more than just an urban myth. People will live their lives in fear, forever wondering if Corpse Girl is lurking behind the next text message they receive. Yes, I can see the future I crave so clearly in my mind. I'm so close to achieving my goal. I know I am. And when my dream comes true, You can finally... She fell asleep. She fell asleep in mid-sentence. The incessant chirping of birds gently kindles the embers of my consciousness. My heavy eyelids open to find my body contorted before me, legs splayed across the couch in the most uncomfortable position I can imagine. I groan and twist my torso, letting any spine pop and crack until the aches in my body drift away. I need to stop falling asleep on the couch. I'm still young, but I can't handle a night away from my comfortable bed. My eyes fall upon my open laptop lying on its side on the floor. The screen is blank, the battery drained. I briefly panic, hoping against the hope that I save my work before falling asleep. I stumble to my feet and pick up the laptop, then charge toward the power outlet. I plug in, boot up the revitalizing mechanical beast, and feeling a wave of relief as the whirring of the internal fans signify the breath of life. The screen flickers and bathes in my eyes in harsh light. My eyes squint against my will, and I make out the image before me. The mutilated corpse of my latest victim, perfection in my picture form. The timestamp in the lower corner reads May 27th, 11:07 a.m., tomorrow's date. The photo is ready to be sent out. If I send it now, the victim will receive it immediately. Notice the date and realize her death is imminent. It's time to set the wheels of demise in motion. And leaving my laptop in the outlet, I quickly dart into the kitchen. Well, to call in the kitchen is misleading. It's simply a tiled area connected to my living room space with a small refrigerator, microwave oven, and single hot plate. A small stack of drawers is nestled to the fridge, and I open the second drawer from time. Plunging my hand inside the side is always an odd sensation. My fingers get buried in under a dozen cheap plastic flip phones. I grasp one of the phones between my thumb and forefinger and remove it from the drawer. It's a scratched up pink model from 2010 or so. A relic from a time not all that long ago, but that may as well be forgotten. I flip the screen up and then turn the device on, relieved to see its artifact still holds power. To be fair, I charged up all these phones just a few weeks ago, but the fact that they retain charge after being inactive for so long is a testament to their true engineering. In any shady line of work, these kind of phones are referred to as burners, cheap disposable devices that are discarded as soon as their purpose is fulfilled. I acquire them by rather unsavory means, but that's neither here or I couldn't say nor there. It's nor there. Okay? Nor there. Remember that. She speaks weird. She doesn't speak weird. I just can't talk, and I'm sorry for that. I use these phones to send out the photos I make. By doing this, I avoid using my personal phone and thus prevent anything from being traced back to me. When a photo has been sent, I keep the burner phone for 24 hours, just in case the victim sends a reply. I know I get a good laugh out of it. Of course, I don't keep the phone on my person. I store it in the old shed out in back of my apartment building. When 24 hours has passed, I remove the phone's SIM card, snap it in half, and discard it with a combustible trash. The phone itself gets smashed and trashed into dumpsters outside a convenience store. I also delete the photos off my hard drive and clear my internet history. Obviously, I don't even use my own internet connection at home. I leech off of my gullible neighbor's Wi-Fi. He's under the impression I can't afford my own internet connection. Whether or not I convince him of such is irrelevant. So he's happy to share his connection with me. Should the police ever try to track my actions, they'll only be led straight to my neighbor. That is mean. That is very mean. I've gone to great lengths to ensure my actions are untraceable. This has all been in anticipation of my inevitable success. But what if he tells the cops that there's another I mean, I guess he wouldn't think of that immediately, huh? Looking down at the pink phone in my hand, I clear my mind and focus on the task before me. The photo is transferred easily from my laptop to the burner phone. Once complete, I open the text messenger app and enter the victim's phone number. I leave the message field blank, but I attach the photo of the corpse. The victim will receive an empty text message from the unknown number, with only an image attached. Whoa. Lily?
Hey, you want a slice of pizza?
The message is just about ready to send, but there's one more flourish I like to add. I opened a particular app and previously downloaded to every burner phone. It's simply called NumberMass, and it's one of the most ingenious apps I ever used. The app asks for the number I want to use. I punch in my memorized trademark. Wow, that's a lot of sixes. Now when I send a text message, the receiver will see these numbers appear on the... Oh, that's why there's a lot of sixes. That makes sense. Not only does it mask the burner's real phone number, but it's also as your calling card to help boost my infamy. I smirk, my thumb hovering over the send message button. This is it. This is going to be my long-awaited victory. The second victim to end up dead. I just know it. This is the stepping stone to my success. The second of my many bodies that will pave the way to my glory. I send the message. That's her ringtone. I arrive at work on time, just as usual. My handbag is heavy with the weight of several cans of coffee, hopefully enough to help me power through the day after having such a great late night. Having had such a late night. Oh my god. I need to learn how to read real quick. I can't help but yawn loudly as I wait for the elevator in the lobby. I was close. Just before the elevator door opens, my phone starts to ring. I step aside and answer the call.
Hey. Hi, Noriko. Good morning. Did I call at a bad time?
Kinda. I'm about to go to work to my bitch-ass employee.
Not at all. I'm just about to go into the office.
Oh, should I call back later?
Yes.
It's no problem. Don't stress.
She's lying.
Okay, sorry.
The nervous, apologetic girl on the other end of the call is Aoi Sato, an old friend from back in the day. Though we never really had any common interests, we used to be inseparable at school. She was shy and I was introverted. It was a combination that worked in our favor, even if our conversations were a little on the boring side. To say that we're no longer shy and introverted would be entirely true. Al has gotten better. She's definitely more outgoing, but she still suffers from a great deal of social anxiety. As for me, I'm still pretty introverted. My tolerance for being around other people has improved a bit, but I do prefer solitude, and visiting places I've never been to before puts me on edge. To call Al my best friend would be accurate. She's my closest confidant. Even so, she knows nothing about my part-time masquerading as corpse girl. No one does, and I plan to keep it that way.
So, Aoi, what did you want to talk about?
Oh, well, you see, that guy at work is still bothering me, and I wanted to see if you had any more advice for me.
HR.
Ah, jeez. The older guy that always hits on you?
Yeah.
Go straight to HR.
What a creep. You're 19, for God's sake. He must be, what, 50?
I think he's 52.
Not better.
You know his actual age?
Um,
Well, whatever. If he's still bothering you, you have to take a stand. He's not your coworker, right? Just a regular customer?
Oh, it's a customer? That's even worse. Well, is that worse? I mean, like, they're both bad, don't get me wrong. But because it's a customer, like, depending on the company, they be like, oh, the customer's always right. But like, on the other hand, you can always just refuse service depending on how everything works. I mean, like, both are very bad. You shouldn't be weird to people, okay? I don't know where I was going with this. My point is, you shouldn't harass people. That's my point.
that's right.
Then tell your manager. Have him banned from the venue.
I can't talk to the manager. I don't want to cause trouble for the company.
Bro, I mean, nobody wants a customer like that guy, so like, you'd be
Jeez,
doing the
girl.
company a favor.
Sometimes you need to stand on your own 2 feet.
I know.
Well, if talking to the manager is out of the question, then you need to be firm with the creep. Tell him you won't stand for being groped anymore. His behavior is simply unacceptable.
Oh, it's not just
and
harassment,
if he
it's
won't
sexual
change,
harassment.
You won't serve
And
him anymore.
okay, that makes it 10 times worse.
He's scary, Noriko. I don't know if I can confront him like that. He's always drunk. Even before he comes into the place. I try not to serve him too much, but...
Are you sure you can't quit that stupid job? Working at a maid cafe really doesn't suit you at all. I thought you wanted a government position.
I do. I want to work in a cozy office, kind of like you, but you know I don't have any qualifications.
Why don't I see if there's anything open here? Maybe Shinya can help out. He got me this job, remember?
Yeah, have Shinya help out.
Shinya. Maybe. He was always a nice guy, right?
Yep, and he likes talking about the, mysteries
super
and
nice.
cold cases and stuff like that.
Stick in the mud, but a nice one.
Noriko, don't be mean.
Yeah. You want me to ask?
Yes, please. If it's no trouble.
It's no trouble. I'll talk to Shinya. Then maybe you can quit that crappy job and come work with me.
Oh, that really does sound wonderful. Thank you, Noriko. I'd be so lost without you.
Don't be silly. You're amazing, Aoi. Leave this to me.
Thank you.
I end the call and I heave a sigh. Having to go to ask Shinya about a job actually is a pain in the ass, but I never admit it to Aoi. I want to help the poor girl, I really do. I nearly do anything for her. The elevator arrives at the lobby, and I step inside as soon as the door opens.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Morning, Shinya.
Fujikawa. Good morning.
Shinya takes me by surprise as I exit the elevator. Has he been waiting for me here?
I wanted to catch you before we sit down to work. I sent you another friend request. Can you make sure you got it this time?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
What am I supposed to do when he puts me on the spot like this? I try not to groan as I get my phone out and open up noise. It's impossible to hide my screen from Shinya's piercing gaze.
Well, what do you Oh, I have a new friend request.
Oh, great. It worked this time. Go ahead and accept it, please.
Yeah, sure thing.
I hesitantly accept the request. A little fireworks animation pops up on the screen with a celebratory message about making a new friend.
Yay! Looks like we're officially friends now. So, can I call you Noriko from now on?
Absolutely not. I never cared much for formalities. I try to adhere to them in the workplace, but honestly, I don't care if people refer to me as to my first or last name, regardless of whether they're friends or not.
That's fine. You can call me Noriko.
Shinya's eyes light up. That seems to have made the boy happy.
Thank you. Oh, you can call me Shinya, of course.
Shinya. Hey, we've known each other since junior high, right? Shouldn't we have been on a first-name basis anyway?
Yes, that's true, but we're in the office now, you know? It wouldn't do if you started working here and called me Shinya right away.
I suppose.
Anyway, I'm really glad we're proper friends now, Noriko. Maybe we can get a coffee sometime.
I can't help but feel he's trying to push his luck as far as it will go. Any suspicions I had about him having a crush on me are now confirmed. I brush a stray lock of hair out of my face and smile sweetly as I can while I change the subject.
Hey, actually, I wanted to ask you something. Are there any more temp jobs available here right now?
Temp jobs, huh? Are you looking to pick up extra hours?
No, not exactly. I'm asking for a friend who needs a new job.
A friend of Noriko's. Well, let's see. We pretty much always have data entry roles up for grabs. Unless your friend wants something more interesting? Do they have any particular qualifications?
Not really. Data entry is more than fine. Actually, you already know who I'm talking about. Remember Aoi Sato?
Aoi Sato. Yes, I think I do remember her. That really shy girl from our school days, correct?
That's the one!
That's her, yeah.
Wow. I never knew you were still in touch with school friends, Noriko.
A school friend. Okay? Don't get it twisted.
Aoi's probably the only one. We're fairly close.
Is that so? As for me, I don't really have any friends from back then.
Shinya, man, you don't need them. You are a Sigma male, okay? I want you to understand this. You're the catch, okay? Shinya's heartbreaking confession doesn't surprise me too much. He doesn't strike me as the type of person to have many friends at all. Sure, I'm the same, but...
No, but what am I saying? We're friends now. So I guess I do keep in touch with school friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, I'll ask my superior if we can get Sato an interview. Is that okay?
Yup.
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you, Shinya.
No problem. Leave it to me.
He gives an awkward salute before skipping away. Our little exchange has obviously made him pretty happy. For some reason, something like Tomo Watanabe said yesterday pops into my head. She mentioned that I'm leading Shinya on, but that's not true, is it? I mean, kinda. But then again, he never, confessed anything too, so, I'm not gonna put it all on her, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm just dumb. Nobody said anything, so no one can really know what's, going on. So I'm not gonna say she's leading him on. That's my ultimate assumption. Because no one has said anything yet. And if you're not clear with what you want, you won't get it. I take a seat at my desk and perform my morning ritual. From my handbag to retrieve my headphones, coffee, and breath mints. Computer on, music playing, coffee open. My finger taps rhythmically against the keyboard and I slip into the usual workday trance.
So, I see that you're connected with Shinya on Noise now, huh?
None of your fucking business, Tomo! But with that, we're going to end this episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.